Power chords are one of the easiest and most common chord types you'll encounter in music, but just because they're simple, it doesn't mean you can't tweak them in subtle ways to unlock even more sounds from the straightforward shape. So let's start with the most basic 2-finger power chord shape. All you need to do is fret the root note, in this case we'll use D, and then the 5th, which is an A in this case. From here, you can simply change the underlying note to vary the sound. If you move it down 3 frets, you get a major third, and 1 more fret down gives you a minor third. These 2 shapes are particular favourites of mine, as I love that sloppy, jangly sound they create, especially when played with a cleaner tone. It can also pair nicely with a standard power chord. For example, if you're recording a double track, one guitar could play the 1st and 5th notes, while the other guitar plays the 1st and 3rds. This is a great way to extend the sound of your chords while keeping the recordings relatively simple. So going back to our starting point with the 5th, if you drop this down by 1 fret, you get what's called a tritone. It may not sound all that pleasant in isolation, but that's kind of the point. Tritones can work really well as passing chords, transitions, or as part of an arpeggio. Adding a little dissonance into a progression can add an extra dimension to the sound, or catch a listener off guard if it's done in an unexpected way. Sticking with the concept of dissonance, if we go back to our power chord shape and simply move the 5th up by 1, you get what's known as a slash chord. You'll find this in all sorts of punk music, though my mind often associates this sound the most with bands like NoFX or No Use for a Name.
And I think she's sad, 'cause tomorrow she hopes her dad will be coming home.
Slash chords can work similarly to tritones. They sound great for transitions and can also help to tie more chromatic chord progressions together, progressions that might otherwise sound a little odd if played only using power chords. A couple more options you could try are moving the underlying note up by 2 frets, which will give you a 6th. This creates a darker sound and can feel pretty unique when included in a common progression. If you move the note down by 2 frets, you get an inverted 5th, with the root note now higher in pitch than the 5th. You can also add the octave of the 5th to extend the chord even further. I sometimes find these higher inversions useful to give the bass more room in the low end. It can be a subtle difference, but it works really well in some cases. If you'd like an even deeper dive into the best chords to use for punk rock, click on this video next.